Hello and welcome to the BMC Quick Course series. In this session, I will show you how to search for objects in the Db2 catalog using the search feature of Catalog Manager for Db2. The catalog search feature can be accessed from the main menu. You can request a new search where you will specify the selection criteria on a subsequent panel, or you can access or select from a set of previously saved search criteria. To request a new search, enter the search command followed by a searchable object type on the command line and press the Enter key. A selection criteria panel will be presented. For a list of searchable object types, enter the CMD command and find the description of the search command. Note that when the command is entered on the command line, the action, object type, and qualifier values are ignored. The catalog search feature can also be accessed from the main menu by specifying 1 in the action field, an applicable value in the object type field, and leaving the qualifier blank. Once you have specified the type of objects you are looking for, press the Enter key and a selection criteria panel will be presented. Based on the object type specified, a panel containing a list of the columns for the appropriate catalog table will be presented. SysIBM SysTables in this case. This information is displayed in the title of the panel along with a count of the searchable columns. The list of catalog columns is presented in a scrollable display. Each row contains the catalog column name, data type, and length, as well as input columns for specifying an operator and value that will be used in the generated where clause. If the columns you want to use for your search criteria is not visible, simply scroll until you find it. Columns not supported by the search facility will not be displayed. A new set of search criteria can be specified in the freeform where clause area or in the scrollable section of the panel using the operator and value columns. More on use of the freeform where clause later. Alternatively, you can retrieve a set of previously saved search criteria by placing an R in the Save Retrieve Search Input field and pressing the Enter key. More on the retrieving a saved search later. Once you have entered your search criteria, you can execute the search by pressing the Enter key or save the entered criteria by placing an S in the Save Retrieve Search Input field and pressing the Enter key. Provide your search criteria by specifying an operator and value for each column that you wish to use for your search criteria. Use a question mark in the operator field to see a list of operators applicable to the catalog column based on data type. The search facility supports a subset of applicable operators based on the data type of the catalog column. The list of operators is scrollable. Select your desired operator from the list using the letter S. If you know your operator, you can simply type it in without having to display the list of operators. Note that typing in L or like will achieve the same result. Once you have selected the operator, enter an appropriate value argument based on the data type of the catalog column. The Db2 wildcard values underscore and % are supported in the value argument. Be sure to enclose any character type values with quotes. Values for columns where the data type is numeric can be enclosed in quotes, but it is not required. Appropriate SQL syntax is required based on the operator selected. For example, if you select IN as the operator, your list of values must be enclosed in parentheses. Any catalog columns on the display where the specification is equal to the initial default values, the equal sign, and a pair of single quote marks or blanks will be ignored when generating the where clause to be used in the search. If you make a mistake or change your mind, simply reset the operator value to an equal sign and the value argument to a pair of single quote marks or blank, depending on the data type of the catalog column. When you have finished specifying your selection criteria, press the Enter key and a list of your selected objects will be generated. The list of rows from the catalog table sysIBM systables that met the selection criteria specified is displayed. You may enter any catalog manager command that is applicable to the list of objects presented or press PF3 to return to the search selection panel. If the text you wish to specify for the value argument is larger than what will fit on the panel, with the cursor anywhere within the value argument, press PF4 and an expanded entry dialog will be presented. If this proves to be too small, enter a Y after the 3 dots and press Enter. You will be taken to an ISPF edit session using your Catalog Manager work dataset where you can enter a longer value. Remember that the same rules apply to these expanded forms of input. All string values must be appropriately quoted. The text you entered is placed in the value field for the selected row. Note that even though the displayed value is condensed, the value used to construct the where clause will be what was originally entered. If you change your mind and wish to enter a shorter value, you must press PF4 as was done previously to change the text value. Press the Enter key and the list will be generated. Press PF3 to return to the search selection panel. Once you have refined your search, you can save it for future use without having to re-enter it. This is accomplished by entering an S in the Save or Retrieve entry field and pressing the Enter key. The Save Current Search Criteria panel is displayed with the Where clause text that was generated based on the values entered on the previous panel. The search criteria is saved using an owner and a name value as an identifier. The owner value has been set to your TSO user ID, but you can change it to alternate value if you wish. You must supply a value for name, and you may optionally specify a title. If you wish to change the generated where clause, enter a Y in the appropriate input field and press the Enter key. You may also edit the where clause text by positioning the cursor on the where clause text and pressing PF4. Your intention to save the specified selection criteria is indicated via the Yes/No field. Note that the identifier provided is not a key, unique or otherwise. It is just an identifier. Therefore, if a set of search criteria exists with the identifier you have specified, it will be overwritten without prompt. When you press the Enter key, your search will be saved and executed, and you will be placed on a panel that contains a list of the selected objects. Now that you have a saved search, how do you access and use it? As before, when generating a new search, enter the command on the main menu with the additional argument that specifies the identifier of your saved search. If you do not remember the identifier, you may generate a list of all your saved searches by specifying an identifier of %. To generate a list of some other user's saved searches, enter the other user's TSO ID %. Press the Enter key to see a list of saved search criteria. A list of saved searches based on the supplied identifier will be displayed. If there is only one saved search that satisfies the identifier argument, the list will not be presented, and that lone search will be executed as if the complete identifier were entered. From this panel, an existing set of search criteria can be selected or deleted by placing the appropriate letter in the command field of the desired row in the display. Once a selection has been specified, press the Enter key and the list of selected objects will be displayed as before. If the identifier was not specified on the main menu, or you want to modify a saved search before it is executed, this can be accomplished by entering an R in the Save Retrieve Search input field. You will be presented with a panel where you can specify the identifier. Select your actions in the appropriate input fields and press the Enter key. In this case, a list of saved search criteria matching the identifier specified will be presented, and once selected, the search criteria will be made available for modification prior to execution. Select the appropriate row from the list and press the Enter key. Edit the retrieved set of selection criteria and press PF3. In this case, the creator value of the selection was modified from its saved value ACT11_ to ACT_1_%. The list of tables that match the modified selection criteria is displayed. The original saved search criteria was not modified and can be retrieved and executed again. Searching for users is not based on a single catalog table and therefore does not follow the same paradigm as searching for other types of catalog objects. To search for users, enter the search command with the US object type. Remember that when on the main menu, if the command is entered on the command line, the other fields on the panel are ignored. The search for users is based on grantee, grantor, and authorizations. Enter a value for grantee or grantor or both with an appropriate operator. Select all or one or more of the authorization selections. Press the Enter key and a list of users that meets the criteria will be presented. Because of the nature of the generated where clause used for a user search, these searches are not able to be saved. The list of all users for authorizations for the specified grantor is displayed. This concludes the quick course on Catalog Manager Search. Thank you for your time.